Hi guys. Welcome. Yes. I'm gonna give it a second because I want to make sure that there's people here checking it out. Sorry if I'm wobbly. I'm trying something new. I'm trying this on my iPad. If this quality is better, let me know in the comments. And then I'm excited because I'm gonna probably start using my iPad for doing the lives moving forward. Um, yeah. So hi guys, welcome to Super Days with Super Dave. This is Super Dave, Director of Training with Best Life Creation Society. Happy Tuesday, happy Wednesday, happy whatever day it is for you guys out there. Um, I'm really looking forward to what we're talking about today. So I'll give it another second and then we'll start right into it. Hi Jen, happy amazing day to you too. I have to laugh because I just love the power of our own alignment. I love the power of our own ability to shine and to feel so good. And oh my gosh, it's just so awesome. Oh, I love it. It's just so good. So yep. Give me one second here. Okay, awesome. So yeah, so this is gonna be great. I'm glad you guys are here. Um, Let me know again if the quality's better. I'll also work on making sure I get it so it's lighter, like brighter next time. My shirt's pretty bright though, so that works out pretty well. But yeah, welcome guys to again, like I said, Super Dave, Super Dave. We're gonna talk about something really powerful, really good, and I'm really glad you're here to check this out, whether you're watching it live or whether you're seeing the recording. But it's about feeling good, then taking action. You'll notice that even when I said then, there was a big emphasis because there is this false premise, this idea out there that in order for me to feel good, I have to take action. In order for that statement to be true, that would mean that we have to be in an action based universe. And guess what? Consider this: we are not. We are in a vibration based universe. So, if we're in a vibration based universe, that means that it's about feeling. And so, if that means that it's about feeling, that means that it's really about you, not me, not the gurus. That's the magic. That's the magic. That's the magic. It's about feeling good, then taking action. Hey, Francisco, um, by you feeling good, you're going to be inspired to take action. That's the magic, gang. That is the powerful awareness and understanding that it really is about you feeling good and then taking action. And so often out there in society, it's taught backwards. But like I said, that would have to mean that we live in a law of action universe, and we don't. We live in a law of attraction universe. This is a feeling vibrational universe. This also means this: there's also no such thing as the law of assertion, and there's also no such thing as the law of assumption. Now, or I'll get them later. All perfect. Let's just keep going. Let's keep moving forward. Um, but what's really powerful about this is that it's about feeling good and then taking action. And it's so wonderful to know that if there are these moments or these times when you do take action first in an attempt to feel good, let me ask you guys this question: have you ever just taken action in order to feel good? And if you did feel good after, did you notice it wasn't sustainable? Did you notice that maybe you felt worse? Did you notice that the mind started to kind of run off and go, oh gosh, in order for me to feel this good again, I have to do the same exact thing again. And maybe there was this sense of stress, or this sense of push, or this sense of frustration, or this sense of some sort of dissatisfaction. Yeah, I felt that same thing too. But when you come from a feeling space, it's just so gentle. It's just so light. It's just so calming and peaceful and joyful. And yeah. And I speak to what I speak of because this morning I got a chance to experience it, which is um, everyone who's watching and people that are in the best life, the members that are in best life, they're very aware that one of the things I do for my income is I drive for Lyft, and I absolutely love it. But it's very interesting because this morning I was already leaving in a space not feeling good before I took the action. And then I said, oh, I'll just do it for a while. That right there should have been my beautiful indicator to go, or I could just go do what feels good. And honestly, at that moment, because I woke up really early, typically earlier than I wake up, it would have felt better to just go lie down, or go back to bed, or meditate, or do something else. Even though I'd already done those things prior to leaving, or ate, right? There's all these things that would have felt better than doing what I tried to do, which is goose up the action. And so I got to witness that, and I got lots of contrast in the time that I was out. I was only out for about half hour, 40 minutes, but it was enough to go, why am I doing this? I don't need to push myself. This doesn't feel good. And I don't live in a law of action-based universe. I live in a law of attraction-based universe. So because I live in a law of attraction-based universe, I'm just going to relax. I'm just going to go, what would feel a little bit better? And in that moment, I finally was like, okay, I'm turning this off. This doesn't feel good anymore. I'm just going to go and do what feels good. And what felt good was to go and take a nap. It just felt good to go take a nap. So that's what I did. I went and I took a nap. And it felt so amazing. And when I woke up, guess what? The momentum was gone. Everything was in this beautiful space of what felt good. And if I do decide to work today, guess what? I'll tell you one thing. I'm going to be coming from a space of going, does it feel good? Not does it sound good? Not does it look good? Not what kind of bonuses can I get? Not what kind of income could I get? Not what kind of income could I make? Not how long should I go work? Because if you guys notice all that stuff, a lot of specifics. And oftentimes people even take action with going, well, if I do this specific action, then I'll feel good. And I'm here to tell you right here, right now, that's not true. It's not. Because in those moments, you're thinking that the action, which is something outside of yourself, is what's going to allow you to feel what's going on with your own internal guidance system. I'll say that again. When you come from a space of going, I'm going to take this action to feel good, you're putting this thing that's exterior to your internal guidance system ahead of how you're feeling. But when you can just go, does it feel good? And if it does feel good, guess what? The action will feel good too. It will be a delight. It will be a joy. It'll be a pleasure. It will. You know what I'm talking about. You guys know exactly everything that I speak of when I say this. You probably have either seen it from others or you've witnessed it within yourself, that when you're feeling good, you can't not take action. You can't not. Because it doesn't feel good to sit and lay in bed all day or think that you need to meditate hours and hours and hours on end. For most people, it won't feel that. You'll be inspired to go here or to listen to this or to read this or to call this individual or, it doesn't make any logical sense, but I really feel inspired to go grocery shopping or to clean this thing or to clean my trunk, right? I mean, these are all things that happen from our beautiful space of inspiration, not from a space of motivation. Yeah. What I do and what we do in Best Life, we are not meant here to motivate you. And even if you feel that from other coaches, guess what? That's not our intention. The intention is to inspire. Because motivation is, again, to from something outside of you. That's like me getting on here and being like, oh, you guys go out there and do it, and you just make it happen, and hurry up, and go, 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 and win, win, win. And I can say from my own perspective, talking like that, not only to myself, but especially to you guys, it doesn't feel good. But guess what does feel good? Hey, Marta. How are you, my dear? I see a few other people here too. I see Kailash? Kailash? I apologize, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but hello, welcome. Byram's here. Hello, Byram. Hello, Darina. Hello, Josh. Awesome. Hi, guys. Glad you guys are here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are terrific as always. I love it. Yes. It's really about feeling good. And it's about following what feels good to you. And then guess what? You'll be inspired to the action. You will. You'll figure out what it is. And guess what? Here's another powerful caveat regarding this. Let's take it with business, because this is an area, business and finances. These are two areas that tend to get very too specific, too fast, very convoluted, very much in a space of feeling complex. So let's say you're feeling good in business, and then for some reason you feel inspired to do something that's not related to the business. Like, let's just say you have a business where it's I'll just keep it real basic, right? So it's a sales business. But for some reason you feel really inspired to go have a milkshake. It doesn't make any sense. It has nothing to do with the business. Not one thing. Guess what? Do it. Why? Because it doesn't make any logical sense, but it feels right. Because guess what? You have no idea where that milkshake will lead you. And you have no idea what received goodness you'll get because of that milkshake. Right? And we've heard the stories. It didn't make sense, and I was feeling really, really good, and I felt really inspired, and I went and I got this milkshake, and it didn't make any sense, but I was there. And then right before I walked out, this guy was like, oh, I really like your shirt. And I was like, I really like your shirt too. And then we led to talking, and then he turned into a client. And that's just the way it goes. Because we're following our inspired action. But because, more importantly, because we felt good. Can you guys feel the difference? It's the whole difference between letting things wonderfully manifest in your space as opposed to thinking that you need to go out there and beat on the doors and make things happen. And I'm going to tell you, from someone who used to be there in that space of thinking that I need to make things happen, and not for a little while, guys, since like 2011 to like 2015, that's what I thought I needed to do. And if you've been in that position, that's okay. It's all perfect. It's awesome. But here's what I can tell you. Here's how my life and my feelings of happiness were. Ready? The visual explains it all, doesn't it? A roller coaster of emotions. A roller coaster of emotions. Would you guys like to know what my graph looks like now and feels like now? It's like this. Oh, you see that little, that was contrast. That was what I don't want. Ready? Here it is again. Oh. And although I maybe sound like I'm being dramatic, that's really what I feel. That is what I feel on a daily basis. And I'll explain to you what I mean. This is the ability to feel good no matter what. And so I'm really delighted because I want to share a story of a customer that I had yesterday, which was so awesome. So awesome. But I've seen there's some good comments here. Let's see here. What was that? See Marta again. Yeah, what is she saying? Oh, love you too. Yeah. So she's saying that's the breadcrumb trail of excitement. It is. Yeah. It's the momentum, It's that beautiful ability to know and to understand that when we're in that feeling good space, more feel good, more feel good, more feel good, more feel good, more feel good. But I got to tell you this story. It's really funny. So yesterday, I had this girl get in my car, and I was already in good feeling space, right? The whole day, I had been feeling good. So this wasn't just like, right? So I was already feeling good to begin with. And my whole day had proceeded of that. I went out to go driving around, I'd say a little after 5. Asked myself what would feel a little bit better. I was like, ooh, a milkshake. So so I'm speaking to my own experience. Went and bought a milkshake. Got a milkshake, was feeling really good. And then I decided, I think I'm going to go driving around. It feels really good. So I decided to turn on my app and see if I could pick up some rides, and was just feeling really good listening to music. I wasn't focusing on rides. I wasn't focusing on where are the customers. I wasn't focusing on, okay, this neighborhood's better than that neighborhood. None of that. Way too specific. I was just focusing on feeling good. Pick up this customer, very lovely person. She proceeded to talk. And I said to her very wonderfully, I said, well, no problem, And then she said, thank you so much, because my last driver that I got with Lyft wouldn't let me talk. And they were shushing me the whole time. And I said, well, different people, different things. And then I said this statement, and the statement was, feel free to talk as much as you want. Guess what? For 30 minutes straight, she talked. And she talked about a lot of contrast. And I had to internally giggle and laugh and go, this is what I asked for. And I still felt good because I had to laugh because she was talking about all sorts of stuff of contrast. Stress in this area and stress in that area and upset in this and, and asking for my agreement in it, and you know what I mean, right? And I'm like, oh, okay. Because that's my way of saying, no, I don't agree with you, but I'll listen. That's the freedom to be able to be that much in a space of what feels good to you when contrast comes in. Because I could have let that girl's vibration drag me down. I could have. We all have these moments. We are all this free. But I deliberately chose to feel good. To just go, I asked for this. I said, feel free to talk as much as you want. She talked. A lot. Pretty much nonstop, actually, throughout the entire ride. And guess what? Fantastic, because I could tell that's what she needed. So how good of me to continue to feel my alignment to allow her to express, but she was probably wanting to express for what felt like, from my position, weeks. And she got to get it all out in a half hour. And at the very end, she said something really sweet. She said, I'm sorry I talk so much. I'm like, no, that's okay. I could tell you just needed to get it out. So glad I could be here to let you get it out. She's like, yeah, okay, thanks very much. And okay, I'll just and she kept talking even as the door was shutting. And she was the one shutting the door. I wasn't shutting the door. She was shutting the door. And I'm like nodding my head, through the window and And look, as silly as that may seem, it's that ability to grant people beingness. It's that beautiful ability to see people through the eyes of Source, and really the ability to feel good no matter what. But it wasn't like, oh, well, when I get a new ride, I'll feel better. And it wasn't like, oh, I'll take a drive to feel better. It was none of that. It was the fact that I was feeling good, then took the action, and still be able to feel good in spite of contrast. So I'm seeing lots of beautiful comments. They're really good. So I'm going to go scroll back here. And I'm doing this on my iPad, so give me a second. I got to scroll here. Let's see here. Yeah, Marta said that. Jen saying, inspiration comes from within. It's following your own personal guidance, the extension of source energy. Yeah. It's that beautiful non-physical energy, that beautiful trueness of who we really are. And I hope you guys can feel that. And that's different for everyone. We heard one of our besties on one of the trainings today. I did a class earlier, and he was talking about, I really enjoy these feelings and these feelings and these feelings. And it was so exciting to hear him talk about how he enjoys those feelings, because from my perspective, I don't enjoy those feelings. But guess what? I'm so excited that he does, because that means he's following his internal guidance system. And the same thing goes for you guys. It's about following your own internal guidance system, and about understanding that, like even with me, like for some people, they might have gone, it didn't feel good to listen to this person. Guess what? They could have been like, I'm just going to listen to music. Or, I'm just going to ignore this person. And guess what? If that's what feels good to them, that's perfect. Because it's what feels good to you. It's your internal guidance system. And I'd point right now, but I'm holding my iPad with two hands, so I'm just pointing with my head. It's your internal guidance system. So I'm seeing some more beautiful comments. Let's see what we got going on here. Hey, Scott. Awesome, that's mastery. Well, I appreciate you saying that, Marta. And I think even more so than mastery, it's just that ability to feel good unconditionally. And I know that Abraham has said, oh, that's really mastering the 5 steps. It is. But the cool thing is that when we master those 5 steps, it's not like, okay, I got my certificate, got my mastery all taken care of, I'm done. Because we're always going to be mastering it. We're always going to be filled in this world that has some contrast in it. Because it's filled to the brim with contrast. But when you're in your aligned space, you have beautiful, what you want pales in comparison to the contrast. But then also when the contrast comes up, you don't let it do anything to you. It's like, good. I'm a co-creative or co-component, creative component for this contrast that's come into my experience. I heard a really, really good Abraham audio, which was, there was a guy talking about, and I got into an accident by no fault of my own. And guess what? Abraham pointed it out to him and was like, okay, so now you've said it a couple times. You've said by no fault of your own a couple times, but what happened? And the person said, well, I was just minding my own business, and I do take responsibility for everything in my life, and I was just there parked, and a taxi ran right into me, and I was a parked car. And Abraham's response was, wait a minute, you're meaning to tell me that you got in the way of that car? That car could have been backing up all over the place, and you happen to be there to be in its way. So you're the co-creative components in everything that we do, guys, including the contrast. And when the guy finally realized, it's like, oh yeah. And I was wanting to do this thing with the sheriff's department and really honoring cops and all these things, but the awareness was that he didn't need to create contrast in order to feel good. And none of you guys need to create contrast in order to feel good. Just feel good. Contrast will just pop up. And it'll just show you, hey, here's more preferences. Here's more beautiful things to expand into. So I'm seeing some more beautiful comments. I'm going to pull up some of this interesting. Josh says, sometimes the best gift is just listening. Oh my God, Josh, totally. And I am a fabulous listener when they're like, hey, I would just like to talk. Because there's been sometimes I'm about to say, so you having a good day? And they're just off. They're just like, yeah, and man, boy, what do you think of this weather? And I'm like, oh, it's pretty good. Yeah, I know, because, and guess what? I allow them that freedom, guys, because I can just continue to feel good. And then there are sometimes when I have customers that love engaging back and forth. And yeah, we do have 2 ears, 1 mouth, listen proportionately. I agree. I agree with that to a certain extent. I think really more than anything, it's that when you're in your aligned space, of course you're going to listen more than you talk. Of course you will. Of course you will. Of course you will. Yeah. So I love it. Great comment. Whoa, whoops. Almost pulled the comments off there. Let's see here. I'm really glad you guys are liking this. This is good stuff. Yeah. So let's see here. All right, Jen wrote here, and here it says, momentum and the law of attraction are reading. Momentum and law of attraction are synonyms. Negative momentum comes from motivation, listening to the influences outside of ourselves, creates negative momentum. Inspiration is listening to your own internal guidance and creates positive momentum. Yep. Yeah. Because again, like I said, thinking that we need to have something outside of us to motivate us is putting someone else or something else above our own internal guidance system. So brilliantly said, Jen. So let's see here. Yep, always. Yeah, I know, right? It's awesome, Marta. Yeah. And so it's really just about feeling good. And then you take the action. This applies with business. This applies with finances. This applies with relationships. This applies with absolutely everything. This applies with driving. This applies with being an entrepreneur. This applies universally with everything that we do and every aspect of our lives, because it's really about feeling good. And it's awesome and so powerful because there's a lot of cliches out there that say feel good. But when you really boil it down to the easiness of it all and recognize that it's not about what feels good to them. It's not about what feels good on a Tuesday. It's not about what feels good when you eat a certain way. It's not about what feels good when you do something, but rather what feels good by feeling. You're free. You're free. You are free. You're free to feel what you feel when you feel it. If it's what feels good, you're free to acknowledge it and let it expand. If you feel what doesn't feel good, you're also free to acknowledge it briefly and then ask what would feel a little bit better. And you don't got to goose yourself up. You don't got to do any of this stuff of like, I'm just going to, intensity of emotion and just, I'm sorry. that even felt foreign to do that. Because think about that. Feel that. Does that feel good? Does it? It may. I can say from my perspective, it never felt good. I pretended it felt good, but it's not who we are. Inner being is not going out there going, ah! Can you hear how ridiculous that sounds? Inner being is not like, go after your goals. Arr! And I hope you're laughing hearing me do this and being so silly with this, because it is that silly. Inner being is going, you're doing amazing. You're doing awesome. You're doing phenomenal. And even if you're like, yeah, but you don't understand, man, all this contrast came in. Guess what inner being is saying? I love you. Come this way. You're doing great. Yeah, but I didn't feel good doing that action. That's okay. That was then, this is now. Come forward. Come forward. Just come forward. It's like, yeah, but this is really serious. Guess what inner being's saying too? No, it's not that serious. Nothing's that serious. You're a co-creator. You get to feel whatever you want to feel. You feel that playful nature? That's you. That's inner being. That's the essence of who we truly are. And how wonderful that we have our beautiful minds, right? The beautiful focusers to transmit and receive all these beautiful feelings. And the beautiful inner being, whatever you want to call it, God or source or collective consciousness, divine enlightenment, whatever word feels good to you. There's a plethora of words of what that is. For the sake of simplicity of everything that we do in Best Life, we like to call it inner being, similar to what Abraham calls it. That vibrational space is in that beautiful, wonderful, stable vibration of satisfaction and above. But our mind can experience all of those things. And anytime that we're feeling that contrast, it's only because we're feeling it differently from inner being. And then to go, oh yeah, I don't like feeling rage when I'm driving. You know what would feel a little bit better? To go home and go back to bed. That's exactly what I did this morning, guys. And that's about as much specificity as I'm going to give it right now. But it was so powerful to be able to acknowledge it that honestly and that briefly so that I could go back to feeling good. So I'm going to read a few of these comments. I thought I saw a couple funny ones. So let's see here. So brilliant. Yes, it is. Yeah, it is, Jen. What's Marta saying here? What's beautiful Marta saying here? She's saying, prioritizing our state of being allows all else, or above all else, because that will create the next set of circumstances. Yeah, it will. I mean, it really will. It's really even not just circumstances. It's just whatever feels good next. Because sometimes even circumstances is just things. But guess what? It could also be feelings. It could also be individuals. It could also be situations. Yes, it could absolutely be circumstances, but it's not just limited to that. When we're in that feeling good space and when we're feeling good, it's just allowing whatever feels good, consider this, whatever feels good next to flow in. Whether it's another feel good feeling, whether it's an object, whether it's a person, whether it is a circumstance or an event or a situation, but it's all of it. It's all of it. And it's what feels good to you. To you, Marta, to you, Jen, to you, Espen, to you, Josh, to you. To you. It's what feels good to you. Not me. What feels good to you. So I love it. Yes, totally with you, Marta. Love it, love it, love it. So let's see here. Jen says, so good to feel and to honor our feelings. They will always guide us to where we want to be while feeling good where we are at. Yeah. Because then we're not like trying to goose up any sort of goofiness. We're not like, I'm feeling good, but I really want to feel excited. No. We just feel good feeling good. And we let it gradually build maybe into excitement or maybe something else. Maybe it builds into, and think of it like this too, guys. It's not like this necessarily. It's like, it goes all over, man. It's whatever feels good to you next. Typically, you do go from good feeling to better feeling to better feeling to better feeling. But there have been times when I've been excited and then I'm like, I'm just feeling like blissing out, man. Or sometimes when I felt really, really good and then I do get too excited. Or sometimes I feel really good and then I get to calm. Or sometimes I feel really good and then I get to, so certain and so stable. But guess what? Those are all in the realm of satisfaction. These are all in the realm of feelings that do feel good. So let's see. Dave the Tiger. Rawr. Thanks, Jen. Appreciate it. Let's see here. What is she saying here too? Yes, everything is always moving forward. Align with the power of the universe and all that is and flow forward. Yeah. And you can even hear the gentleness in my voice. Does it mean you don't still have passion though? Of course not. You still, of course you're still passionate. But you're talking about passion from an aligned space, not passion from a misaligned space. You guys know the difference. And just as a quick example, here's passion from a misaligned space. All right, guys, get out there and do this. I'm passionate. Let me tell you. Do you feel that? That's asserting one's passion. The idea of thinking that we need to prove things disproves it. Consider that. The act of trying to prove things disproves it. But now feel this. Here's passion with alignment. Oh my gosh, I'm just so excited for you guys. I'm fired up. I'm so thrilled that you guys are getting this. That you get to choose this. That you get to feel this. That you get to feel as good as you want. And that you're free to change your feelings anytime. Can you feel that passion? That's real passion. I can go into that anytime. But there's no assertion there. I don't need to. And you don't need to either. So let's see what else you guys are saying here. So Jen's saying BBB. Yes. Yes. Vibrational circumstances as well, Marta says. Yes. Doesn't have to be physical. That's right. That's right. Because we live in a vibrational universe. We don't even live in a material universe. Woo! That might be a stretch. We don't. We live in a vibrational universe. And by our beautiful being in this beautiful vibrational universe, things have come into the physical. Yeah. Yeah. Because they had to, because they came from thoughts first, which had vibration. And then those vibrations carried into beautiful, inspired physical action. And now we have beautiful things like, say, this. Right? But it didn't come from just action alone. Oh no. It came from our beautiful ability to feel and then take the inspired action. So, I'm feeling like it's time to wrap this up. I hope you guys got some benefit from this. If you liked what you felt, feel free to take a look at our website. Feel free to become a member if it feels good to you, or at least learn more about it. Just go to bestlifecreationsociety.com/community. And you can see not only myself, but our beautiful besties from all over the world and see if it's a fit for you. And I just love this. And I just love you guys. And I'm so glad you guys were here participating and feeling all this. If you do have any questions or anything, feel free to reach out to myself or anybody on the Best Life page. Feel free to like us on both Instagram and subscribe to us on YouTube. And we'll be doing shorter format videos in the near future. I'm not going to say when because I don't know when, but we're feeling that all out. That's what we do in Best Life. We feel everything out with everything that we're doing. And and we have an event coming up September 7th in Chicago. We're going to be participating in the Abraham Workshop. You're not required to go, but we will be discussing afterwards everything that was expanded upon in the beautiful workshop. But if you want to register for that, that's on our website as well. And yeah, you guys are just so awesome and amazing. And I'm really glad that I got to share this in a way that felt good. So yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you, Marta. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you, everyone, for sharing the beautiful comments. Thank you, as always, Jen. our wonderful CEO with Best Life Creation Society. And yeah, I'm going to go continuing doing what feels good next. And I think what feels good next is eating some food. Yeah, I've got some leftover Italian. Yum. So yeah, this is Dave the Tiger. Arr! No, I'm just kidding. This is Super Dave, Director of Training with Best Life Creation Society, signing off and saying, until we speak again, may you continue to make your best life with Best Life. Thanks, you guys. Love you lots. Stay feeling good.